I wouldn't recommend listening to this alone. Many viewers miss the real horror by leaving early. Stay till the end, if you dare. My name is Daniel, and I never believed in the supernatural, until the night I entered the house on Grayson Street, a house the entire neighborhood called the House of Ghosts. I wish I could erase everything I saw inside those walls, but the memories have rooted themselves deep within me. And if you read this to the end, maybe you'll understand why I still sleep with the lights on. 1. The dare. It all started as a stupid dare. My friends, Ryan, Lewis, and Mark, knew I never backed down from a challenge. We were all 19, bored, and hungry for something thrilling to break the monotony of our lives. So when Ryan suggested we explore the abandoned house at the end of the street, we all laughed. That house had been empty for nearly 25 years. People said a whole family disappeared inside one stormy night. Some said they still walked through the halls, trapped between life and death. Others claimed they heard crying from the walls at night. Of course, these were just stories, scary tales meant to keep kids away. Or so I thought. You won't last 10 minutes inside, Ryan teased. Make it 20, I shot back. And just like that, it was decided. 2. Entering the house. We reached the property at 11:45 p.m. The wind was cold, biting through our jackets. The wooden gate creaked open on its own, like it was expecting us. The house stood tall and lifeless, its windows shattered, its walls cracked, vines crawling up its sides like veins. The moonlight reflected off the broken glass scattered on the porch, giving everything a ghostly glow. Mark whispered, "Guys, let's not do this." But we were already halfway inside. The moment I stepped through the front door, a wave of cold air wrapped around me. Not just regular cold, it felt like something icy was breathing against my neck. The smell of damp wood and decay filled my lungs. Lewis pointed his flashlight around the main hall. "Damn, looks like no one's been here in years." But he was wrong. The floor was covered in footprints. Fresh ones. 3. Footsteps in the dark. We moved deeper inside. The house was strangely quiet, too quiet. Even the sound of our footsteps seemed muffled. The first strange thing happened near the old staircase. We heard footsteps above us. Slow, heavy, deliberate. But the house was supposed to be empty. Ryan looked up. "Anyone else hear that?" Before I could answer, something else happened. A shadow moved across the landing, fast and smooth, like it glided instead of walked. Mark panicked. "I'm out of here." But the front door slammed shut with a force that shook the entire house. We were trapped. 4. The woman in the hallway. The air grew colder as we walked through the hallway. The deeper we went, the stronger the feeling of being watched became. Every corner felt alive. Every doorway seemed to hide someone. When we reached the living room, we saw her. A woman, standing in the corner. Her dress was torn and soaked as if she had walked through a storm. Her hair hung over her face, hiding it completely. Lewis whispered, "Ma'am, are you okay?" She didn't move, not even a twitch. He took one step toward her. Her head snapped up. Her face, pale, drenched, with hollow black eyes, was not human anymore. Her jaw hung unnaturally low, as if unhinged. Water dripped from her mouth, forming a dark puddle at her feet. She let out a sound I will never forget. Not a scream, not a cry, a drowning gasp, as if she was taking her last breath, again. We ran. 5. The family portrait. We rushed through a narrow hallway until we reached a small room. Inside, an old family portrait hung crookedly on the wall. It showed a smiling family of 4. A father, a mother, a young boy, a teenage girl. But as we looked closer, something changed. Their eyes turned black in the picture. Then the faces began to twist. Smiles stretched unnaturally wide, eyes bulged, skin darkened as though rotting. Mark stumbled back. "What the hell is this?" But I was staring at the teenage girl. Because she was the same woman we saw in the living room. Only alive, only smiling, only human, before she died. 6. Whispers behind the walls. We tried to find a way out. But every door led us deeper into the house. Every hallway changed. Every staircase turned into another corridor. It was like the house itself was alive, and playing with us. Then we heard whispers. Soft at first, then louder. Dozens of voices whispering from inside the walls. Get out. Leave. He's coming. Run. Ryan grabbed my arm. Who's coming? The voices answered, all at once. The father. A cold shiver ran through my spine. Suddenly, the floor under our feet vibrated. Footsteps, heavy, angry, echoed from somewhere above. Like someone huge was stomping around, searching for something. Searching for us. 7. The basement door. Lewis spotted a wooden door at the end of the hall. The basement. There has to be a back exit. We raced toward it, but as soon as we opened the door, a stench hit us, rot, mold, and something metallic like blood. The basement stairs creaked under our weight. The darkness was suffocating. Even our flashlights flickered. Halfway down, we heard crying. A child crying. A boy, maybe 7 or 8 years old. Lewis shone his light forward. And we froze. In the corner sat a small boy, hugging his knees, trembling, tears running down his dirty cheeks. Help me, he whispered. He won't let us go. Before we could move, before we could say anything, his body jerked violently. And he vanished, like smoke in the air. The crying continued, not near us anymore, inside our ears, inside our heads. 8. The father arrives. A loud thud came from upstairs. Then another. Then another. Something big was coming down the stairs. The lights flickered harder. The basement door began to shake violently, as if someone, or something, was ramming into it from the other side. Ryan shouted, "It's the father. Run." We sprinted deeper into the basement. The walls around us trembled. Dust fell from the ceiling. The pounding grew louder, closer, angrier. Then the basement door burst open. Not slowly, not gradually. It exploded off its hinges. A massive figure stood in the doorway. Tall, broad, terrifying. His body was soaked, his clothes torn, eyes glowing faintly in the dark. One hand dragged something across the floor. An axe. Not a normal one. Rusty, stained, dripping black water. His voice rumbled through the basement. "Where is my family?" Mark screamed. Lewis dropped his flashlight. Ryan froze. But I saw something they didn't. Behind the father, the mother, the girl, and the boy stood in the shadows. Silent, still, watching, their eyes empty, dead. 9. The escape. The father lifted the axe. I grabbed my friends. This way, run. We burst into a narrow tunnel at the far end of the basement. The father's roar shook the entire passage behind us. We crawled, stumbled, and scraped our hands on the stones. The tunnel seemed endless, but finally, we saw light. A broken metal grate. We pushed it open and climbed out into the cold night. Behind us, the house shook, windows shattered, and a deep roar echoed from within. We didn't stop running until the house was far behind us. 10. Aftermath. The next morning, the house looked normal again. Quiet, empty, lifeless. But I knew what was inside. The family, the father, the ghosts that never left. Ryan moved away. Lewis refused to talk about that night again. Mark still wakes up screaming. As for me, sometimes, when I walk past Grayson Street, I hear something. A child crying, a woman gasping, footsteps following me, and at night, when the world is silent, I hear a deep voice whisper, "Where is my family?" And I know the house is still waiting, still breathing, still hungry. The house of ghosts never lets anyone go. If this story stayed in your mind longer than it should, leave a like, subscribe to Grim Wave, And tell me in the comments what part disturbed you the most.